fueling during the bike. That's going to set you up for success, not only on the run, but also towards the second half of the bike. So what should you take? And once again, this is individual. It's really based on what has worked for you. But once again, this is an opportunity to practice those your fueling. So ideally, you should be getting anywhere from 65 to 90 grams of carbohydrates per hour. The more power that you're pushing, the more important it is for you to be towards that upper limit. Now, some people can take in more than that. I can take in more than that, but that's really what most people are shooting for. So 90 grams is about 360 calories of carbohydrates per hour. So yeah, that's a lot. It's something that you have to train your stomach to be able to tolerate. You don't just show up on race day and slam it and think it's going to work, because that's going to cause some GI issues. So just want to remind you of that. Practice, rehearse, practice. As far as execution goes, this is a race simulation, okay? So it's not going to be exactly the intensity of a race, but you can use it to practice things, okay? So what intensity should you be riding at? So if your focus is Half Ironman, then you can choose an intensity right about Half Ironman intensity. It could be a little bit lower, but the goal is, rather than the total watts that you're pushing, I want you to look at this as a trend and some general principles. So anytime you race, whether Ironman or Half Ironman, you should be progressing from like very comfortable, moderate to a push. And your wattage may actually be the same at all of those effort levels, but as the race goes on, it requires more effort to push the same wattage, typically. It's going to feel a little bit more difficult. So you want to practice executing that during this race simulation. So you're going out, and I'm not saying go easy. You can push a little bit, but you don't want to go back and look at your power and see your first 45 minutes as your highest power output. We want to avoid that. Ideally, we want the second half of the ride to be a higher output. This is a lot of this is based on feel, because keep in mind, you don't have a taper going into this, and it's really about playing the cards that you're dealt, right? So if you're not feeling super strong, it's okay. I still want you to execute with those principles in mind. Okay, so you're going to progress, build into a tough intensity. By the end of this, you can even be pushing well above what you would do in a race. Just like in a race, when you're running uphill, don't worry about the pace. Let your pace drop. It's about effort. So at that same effort, your pace is going to have to slow down so that you can, once you get to a flat or a downhill, you can get back to running. You don't want to surge and push to hold on to a pace when you're going uphill. Shuffle, get through it efficiently, and then get back to running.